We've discussed the continuing failure of our education system many times on this show. Now, the left will always tell you that our kids can't read or write because there's a lack of money in the system. I should say they're going backwards in their literacy and numeracy skills rather than they can't read or write. But with record funding, that simply doesn't wash with anyone who's got a considered mindset. I mean, do you remember Labor's campaign slogan, "I give a Gonski"? Yeah, it was a slogan. And it saw an additional $14.5 billion pledged to education over 6 years. And in 5 years after that, our kids were going backwards. I'd argue that there's a deliberate push to dumb down society. I mean, how else can you explain the willful dumping of what works in favour of newfangled ideas that clearly don't? Joining me to discuss this, and on the back of a new report that is author for the Mancal Economic Education Foundation, is legal academic Rocco Loiacono. Rocco, great to have you back on the program. What is behind our plummeting educational outcomes?
Well, good evening, Corey. Well, as you pointed out, the rot really, I mean, this has been coming for a long time, as we've found in the report, but the rot really set in with the Gonski reforms. And the thing was, initially, he was given the task of bringing up Australia's education standards. But as you said, 5 years later, things were going backwards. So what did Malcolm Turnbull do? He asked David Gonski, how does he fix it? And he gave him more money. And that has led to what we see at the moment, where the funding goes that way and the education standards are going that way. And we've got a national curriculum at the moment, which, rather than being a traditional curriculum founded on things that actually work, tried and true methods, is an anarchist political manifesto, which has led to things being included in our curriculum which show that the priorities are completely wrong. I mean, ask my brother's a teacher and he'll tell you, look, they're doing so many things rather than actually teaching. There's an awareness week for that, an awareness week for this. And we're also seeing in the curriculum that it's packed with things, as I say, the priorities are wrong. I mean, for example, my 9-year-old came home last week with an assignment that he has to recreate elephant habitat in a shoebox, but he has trouble telling me how much time has elapsed between 10 past 2 and 10 to 10. Now, surely it's more important for a 9-year-old to be able to tell me the time and be able to read and write properly than it is to recreate African savannah in a shoebox. The other problem that we've identified is in teacher training, where teachers are now going through the system, but there's no systematic peer review as they go along, which is something you would expect. So what's happening is they find out that maybe they really don't belong in a classroom once they've graduated and found a job. These are the things that we've found in the report. And again, it gets back to the old adage, anything the government touches and throws money at leads to the same outcome, failure.